At the time of this recording, I'm 37 years old, and if I could go back and talk to my 20-year-old self and give some advice on how to make a lot more money in car sales faster, these are the 4 things that I would say. And this leads me to my first point, is invest in yourself. Look, if I could go back, I would definitely tell my 20-year-old self that the best investment that you can make is in yourself. Stop investing in your friends, in your relationships, in these people that probably are not going to be with you when you're 30 or 40 years old. This is the honest truth, and it's also the harsh truth, but this is the reality and this is the world that we live in. Look, the older that you get, people move on, new things happen. But when I was young, I was so focused on investing in these relationships. I always had to be the life of the party. For me, it was always about me making my friends happy, me making enough income so I could make sure that my friends were happy. It wasn't about me investing in myself. Instead, I was doing all of the bad habits. I was drinking, I was partying, going out at night. But if I had advice that I could give to my 20-year-old self, I would say you should invest in yourself. And I'm not talking about just showing up to work every single day. Look, if you don't have a strong work ethic, you should probably stop this video right now, because without a strong work ethic, you'll never make it. What I mean by investing in myself is that I would tell myself to truly dive into sales. Go to seminars, find a mentor, read all the books that you can on sales, persuasion, negotiation. The reality is, car sales is not just about knowing the features. There's a lot of other things that go into selling cars. The reality is, car sales is not just about who knows the most about the product. Car sales is also about the person that knows the most about people, persuasion, negotiation, and at the end of the day, how to close a deal. I wish I had taken this more seriously at the beginning of my career, but my managers were not the role models that I wanted to be. They might have been good at selling cars, but they were not personally developing themselves. There was no book of the month. There was no trainer coming in every single month to train us and coach us on how to actually close deals. When I first started at the dealership, all I was given was a desk and a pencil and a notebook, and that is it. I had to fight for myself. Had I had the right mentorship, had I had somebody to guide me and coach me, and that told me I could speed my way up to making $250,000 a year just by investing in myself, in seminars, learning sales, in coaching, I would have gotten to where I'm at right now so much quicker. And this leads me to my second point, is objection handling. Look, at the end of the day, there's only 5 common objections that you're going to get every single time that you're sitting down with a client. What's your best price? Can I get my monthly lower payment? I want to think about it. I need to talk to my wife. Your price is way too high. These are the most common objections that you are going to get. And if somebody had told me at the very beginning, all you need to do is master these 5 common objections, you will sell more cars, you will close more deals, and life will be so much easier, I would have mastered these 5 objections. The sooner you start learning how to deal with objections, how to structure a sale, how to frame a sale, how to genuinely connect with your clients, the sooner you'll start to see the results. And trust me, the more you invest in yourself, the more confident you will be and the more sales you will get. If you're getting started in car sales, here's my advice. Read the books, watch the webinars, get the coaching. Do not delay your earning, because the longer you delay your learning, the longer you delay your earning. All of us have a certain capacity, and what we need to do is we need to raise our capacity so we can raise our result. And this leads me to my second point, having a business mindset. I wish somebody had told me when I first started in car sales that I was not an employee there, I was actually a business owner. And had I developed this business owner mentality, I feel like I would have got into my income a lot quicker and a lot faster to where I am today. The difference between somebody who's a business owner and employee is that employees, they clock in and they clock out. Employees' hours are determined by the person that they're working for. But a business owner, they determine their own hours. They decide when they go into work. They don't go by the schedule that's given to them by the dealership. Your dealership is open on a long weekend and you're scheduled to take it off. Well, a business owner would probably decide to go in on a long weekend because most businesses out there are probably open. See, if you have that type of business owner mentality, you will freaking crush it in car sales. And I wish I had told this to my 20-year-old self. When you're starting your role in car sales, you're literally being given the keys to the dealership. The owner has given you the whole dealership for you to sell. You don't have to pay for any of the inventory. You don't have to pay for the desk that you sit at. You don't have to pay any interest on the loans to operate the dealership. Basically, you get to sit down at your desk, sell all the product that's out there, and you don't have to pay a dime. Instead, the owner pays you. To me, that sounds like a business, but the best thing is that sounds like a business with no overhead. What if I told you you can invest in this business today and pay no money, and at the end of the 12 months, You could generate a revenue of $100,000 income minimum. What if I told you that? Wouldn't that sound like a great business idea? This is the kind of talk I wish somebody had had with me in my 20s and given me that mentality that I don't work for this dealership. I'm not an employee of the dealership. I employ myself, and the results that I will get will be determined by the activities that I do every single day. See, what you have to realize is that the owner of the dealership has basically giving you the keys to the building. You don't have to worry about the rent. You don't have to worry about the overhead. You don't have to worry about paying the interest and all the vehicles that are on your lot right now. You don't even have to pay for your desk. Basically, all you do is you show up to work and you have all of this inventory that you then have to market and sell. The owner has put up millions and millions and millions of dollars for the vehicles, for the land, for the employees, for the accounting department, to the HR department, and to pay your checks as well. But basically, if you have this mindset as you're running your own business, there is no reason that you will not succeed in car sales. And that leads me to my third point. It's going to be easier and it's going to be harder than you think. Let me explain. I wish somebody had told me that it was going to be easier, because when I first walked into the dealership, I remember looking around and there were really a bunch of people that had major issues, major emotional issues, major drug abuse issues, major alcohol issues. It seemed like everybody had an issue. Now, the reason why is because it's so easy to become a car salesman. You just get your license, you pass the test, and now you're on your way to making $5,000, $10,000 a month, where most people go to school for 4 years. See, when you have this low barrier of entry, this is when sometimes you attract people who sometimes do have bad habits and they need to pay to keep these bad habits going. The third thing that I wish somebody had told me was about daily non-negotiables. I wish I had a mentor who had sat down with me from the very beginning and told me that if you do these few disciplines every day, the result is going to be inevitable. So just doing 2 to 3 things every single day, the result will be inevitable. And slowly what I found, it took me about a year to find out, what I found that the most successful people were doing in the car business is that they were doing daily non-negotiable activities every single day. And some of the people, they would actually leave early. You know, they weren't working 12-hour days, 16-hour days. They were if they had appointments booked in, but other than that, if they did their daily non-negotiables and they didn't sell a car, it was fine. So I wish somebody had told me in my early 20s that it's not about necessarily how hard you work, it's also about how smart you work. It's not about you being at work, it's exactly about what you're actually doing when you're at your work, right? So after 6 months, I started setting up some daily non-negotiables. And one of those is that I was going to call every single service customer that was coming in the next day to get their vehicle serviced. The second thing that I did is I made sure I posted every single fresh trade-in on Facebook Marketplace every single day. I knew the trades even better than the managers did, which gave me the opportunity to market these cars first, because the hottest cars will usually sell the quickest. And the faster you get those online, the faster that you will have the first opportunity to sell those vehicles. And now this leads me to my fourth point. I wish somebody had told me how much money there really is in car sales. See, in car sales, I thought I just stopped at 6 figures, which is $100,000 income. But from there, I saw my managers, they were making $200,000 income. Then I started being surrounded around mentors who were making $400,000 to $500,000. Then I saw people who were not the owners, but employees, making $100,000 income. I wish somebody had told me that in this business can take care of you for the rest of your life. This business will be able to help you create generational wealth. You will not need to look at another career. There's not a better opportunity out there for you. I wish somebody had told me this. See, when I first started out in car sales, I worked in car sales from 2013 to 2016. I did everything that I wanted. I went from being a salesperson to becoming the general sales manager of a dealership. And being young and dumb, I thought I had made it. I thought, why not try something different? So I left the industry for 2 years to do something else, and I failed, and I hated it. I hated to go to work every single day. In the back of my head, I thought about the car business every single day when I went to work. So I decided to go back. But when I went back, I had to start as a salesperson all over again. But lo and behold, 2 years later, I'm the GM, running a dealership, living the life of my dreams, going to places that I only dreamt of, that I used to have on my vision board. And that's when I realized that the car business can deliver everything that there is for my family and even more, and maybe even for my kids. So these are the 4 brutal truths that I wish somebody had told me in my 20s. And had somebody had told me these things, I probably would have gotten to my goals a lot faster. And if you'd like to know more about sales, and if you'd like to earn $100,000 income a year in car sales specifically, make sure you DM me on IG and I'll hit you back right away. Now, if you're in car sales, now whether you've just started out in car sales or you've been in this business for 2 years, if you want to learn how to make real money, I'm talking $100,000, $250,000 a year, make sure you connect with me on IG. My link is in the description below. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.